I have no idea why I'm doing a second one of these, but this might be more interesting purely because I was actually pretty happy in playing this one. I'm playing with someone who I know is actually decent. By decent, I mean like actually good and not pants on head retarded. Or basically, at least I trust him, right? I trust him to make the right call. I trust him at least not to do something blazingly stupid like staying around a tower on 30% HP. And I know he knows how to at least like start a step, stay out of trouble, etc, etc, etc. But this game wasn't exactly easy because Akali got fed, because Vlad got camped. Right, pretty damn hard. Akali got fed. It's just, in general, I'd say this, there's generally at least one retard a team. Right, even at, this is probably gold. Was this gold 3, gold 2? I don't remember. But he bites more than he can chew, Vlad. Right, this is not his fault, but he gets ignited twice, but then Akali Q flashes and hits him over it. It's just okay, perhaps not the best idea from him, but he's actually not the retard in this game. It's actually Rammus. Right, you take someone like Rammus, you fully intend, I completely miss what happened there. Oh god, why did I pick that time? Of course I would pick the time where I do something stupid to go back to my lane, but sod it. It's actually Rammus who... who picks a ganking jungler and actually doesn't really gank much. It's okay, if he doesn't want to go top, then fine. But he doesn't come bot. Did I really just flick back down here as that happened again? Whatever. But he could at least gank meat, but he just doesn't. And props to Vlad actually for recovering really well and becoming a threat late game. And their retard was probably Jarvan, who you can probably guess who he was pre-made with later. So what happens in this lane? It's Thresh, right? Thresh has... I'd call him a bit predictable in that he'll probably try to harass you with Q or just auto attack as long as Q. And you can shield that and then hit him back. But what else can you do? Is the fact he wants to pick up souls, and you can try to harass him whilst he does that, but he does a lot of damage, and I sometimes miss my E because I am simply terrible. Other things of noting when you're supporting, note the creeps, right? It's one thing to note when your minions are getting low, but you also need to note how many minions there are. It's like I see some people would, say if I was Leona or something, would try to engage this when, if actually the enemy lane went all in, they would win purely because they have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more minions. What? It's just... I'm taking so much damage. It's not as if I don't have armor runes. I've actually got HP forts, HP quints as well, but... Oh no, I just find it useful, especially on a squishy one. But... should I even give what runes I use on this? It's basically armor with HP quint. It's because I like being in the AD carry's face more, and it helps to absorb some of the harass. So Vlad gets ganked again, although he pulls either too early or too late, depending on your opinion, and snuffs it. So he's now dead twice, although ironically enough, he still managed to get more farm than this J4. Maybe because Hecarim's taking it, I have no idea. But things get more interesting later. Whereas in the other video, it was probably more interesting in lane. This just gets more interesting later. I'm trying pretty much to defend Vayne as best as I can against this harass, because the onus is on them. Especially if Vayne or Cog, the onus is on them to do something and shut you down. Because Vayne and Cog scale so much better in the late game. Same with Triss, but sometimes you can make something happen with Triss early game. Vayne, not so much. Why, yes, he did just miss both of those creeps. So they go back. We try to push the lane out so they lose creeps, which they do. So maybe we'll get some sort of advantage, but they just lost a wave, whereas we're still here. The danger is, right, is when you push the wave, get a bit too greedy, and either stay and then get forced into a fight that you can't win, or they just push back until the advantage is completely nullified. And then they do Drake or something. But I actually don't really know what's happening. Like, we find Hecarim, Vi's and making this to do it. Rammus tries to do something, not quick enough. Vlad is well, actually doing okay. I actually like team started flaming Vlad, and I pinged to say that Hecarim's on his way up, but then it was far too late. Vi was just either hadn't gone back yet or just did not ward mid. Like if this was warded or this was warded, just something. But Vlad is now dead 3 times. Thing is though, every time he's died, he's been ganked, and although in most cases I would generally agree that Vlad needs to play more passive, it's just so many people don't want to play what I call like completely French Vlad, which is just not die and become absolute ass at level like 9. And you want to be aggressive early on, and I'm something guilty of that, and at least I know when to get away with it. Sometimes I actually fail, but I don't know. Do you want me to see me play Vlad? If you want, I will happily do a commentary on that if you want. Just leave me a message or something. I'll see what I can do. But the thing is that even though he's getting ganked, he is actually getting ahead in CS, and that to me suggests he knows how to recover. And it's just, there's not really much Vi can do. Not Vi can do, Vlad can do. Right? If he wards here, Vi is not warding in a location that will stop Hecarim from just running up and killing him. It's, oh, we can't kill her, but kills her, kills him. But it was just when I saw this, I just assumed Vlad knew what he was doing, because I think Vlad wins this matchup anyway, but at least he knew how to recover, as opposed to just flame endlessly about it was well within his rights to flame endlessly about the fact that no jungle ganks, but Vlad being Vlad, it is generally not the most favourable lane for jungle to gank anyway. Because what you can do, you have no CC besides pull, and you don't really have the sustained damage early on. Although, like in this instance, I would have sort of queried question mark over farming with pool, but hey, to everyone his own boat. It's just a habit of mine never to farm with pool in case some crap happens. But I guess in this stage it probably wouldn't matter. As soon as he got ganked, he will probably just get trapped into Cataclysm, which ironically enough, I read that they fixed, so you can't ghost out of it anymore. So 4-1, we didn't really realise the goal situation. I'm trying to get the lane or just prepare the minions for Vayne to last hit properly. I miss my Q because I'm bad. But hey, like Vayne is behind on CS, but at the same time, because she sails so much better, if you can stay even, I regard that as a bonus really. So they take the tower, not much we can do about that. Vlad dies, again, ironically enough, because Hecarim is there. And Rammus dies as well, and I'm not sure if Vi dies as well, so he just got 3 for 0. And Akali got 4, it's on 4 and 0, Hecarim 3 and 1. It's looking bad. It was, like, as strong as Vayne gets, it does sort of depend on her being able to output damage, which is again where Janna comes in, and at least you can sort of blow them away. But Akali's different in the fact that she has 3 jumps. And okay, Vayne can stop her once with E, I can stop her once with Q, and maybe I can stop her a 3rd time with ult, but it's going to be hard. We've got just gap closes. The entire team has some sort of form of closing the gap, and it's like we're at our tower all the time. Rammus didn't gank once. Rammus, I didn't see him gank top at all. I mean, if he ever ganked me, it's like it's 12 minutes, and Rammus hasn't actually participated in any sort of kills. Which, like, I didn't want to say anything, But it was in both my mind and everybody else's how Ramos just wasn't ganking, right? Like, it's just me. So, like, we complained about it, and then Ramos turns up. It's like, finally something is getting done. Right, Vi turns up, which is good enough. So we just take what we can, and then we kill Thresh, although then Vi takes the kill. Even though it was pretty much a secure kill with much pressure on Vayne, arguably enough, but oh well, we got someone. At least it wasn't me or Ramos, is how I see it. So we kill Thresh, and then we go for Drake, which is actually not as good an idea as it may seem, but hey, we find Graves and we kill him. But in this instant, it's sort of, oh god, Akali's there, what am I going to do? And I can't do anything. Like, we sort of did Drake, but at the same time, this is exactly the problem that occurs. Their damage dealers are still around, and we sort of abandoned the Drake attempt. And now Ramos dies. And I don't actually have a clue why he decided to do that. But I'm trying to sort of stay alive, and then just help Vi along with killing things. But she manages to tidy up, which is good enough.
Rampage.
Oh, meanwhile at top, J4 managed to die somehow, even though he got so much help from Hecarim. I'm not actually sure how, but if anything, props to Black for being able to do this. Oh, J4 brought it on himself. I see. Lock yourself in with an animal, and then expect not to get retaliation of some sort. Oh well. Like, it might just be me, but this build sort of makes me want to cry a bit. I don't know. My item choices as Janna generally the usual get Philo, get Sightstone, then get Cages, and then decide where to go from there. But in this game, I think I wanted to go for Twin Shadows really quickly, more like aid in order to reveal Akali, catch people, or just slow them down. I still think Twin Shadows is such a ridiculously good item, but it's such a good peeling item as well, and it complements pretty much anybody, as far as I'm aware. Well, when you're supporting anyway. I wouldn't say it complements LeBlanc, because let's not go into LeBlanc, shall we? The less we say about that, the better. So, most important thing is have a pink ward. Have a pink ward at all times, because a pink ward a day makes Akali cry. Massive, massive pearly tears. Yeah. So, we have no idea how behind we are right now. We assume that Drake's already gone. We assume we're actually quite behind because Vlad is 1 in 4. But I make the assessment that actually we're not that far behind, because I think we have more teamfight presence with AoE, and I can peel for Vayne, and Vayne will do more damage. And it's just Vlad will be so much more damage dealing than Jarvan is, right? And Vi is 5 and 2, and so it will be a really irritating threat. Oh, this is what I mean. Right. So they try and come around and lock us in. So, like, Akali's there, throws a shroud down. I put a pink down, and she cries massive tears about it. Like, tries to get to Vayne. Vayne eats her. Like, okay, like, Vayne dies, but Akali is 6 and 2, and she snuffs it. That is a victory for us. But except then I die because no one is hitting Graves, but what am I meant to do about it? Not a lot. Except we do have to question why people are chasing the support. But it has to be said that Vlad actually wasn't there. But we also have to question what is he meant to do now. And then he dies as well. It's just... This game isn't going as well as it should, chaps. But hey, Ramos comes in, makes a play, and snags Graves, which is good enough. So we go out. I actually don't have the money to buy a pink ward. I'm actually aware of this, and then I go back immediately to buy one. There we go. Pink ward bought. Akali can now like cry another massive river. Because the thing is with Akalis, especially if they do this, is that they rely so much on their shroud to A, keep them alive, and B, for cooldowns to come on so they can take multiple people on and kill you one at a time. As soon as you buy a pink ward, it negates that, and they just become as squishy as everybody else. Either that, or cry and get Lucian on the team. But it sort of... we're not overly sure what's meant to happen here. It's like, everybody knows, right, that they're heading up. But J-Ball dives it, which was probably a bad idea. We're just in the right place at that time, and we managed to kill them all. Except Vlad is like, then all that's left is Akali because those two died. So I try and slow down Akali, who sort of realizes that she's not getting away, and then tries to dive back in, and we kill her as well. It's probably if you made it, like in this situation, I make it cool to go Baron because A, there's 5 of us. We just killed their main damage threat. We killed their jungler so he can't smite it, and we killed some useless thing. But there's no way these two can stop us, basically. And their best option would probably have gone bot and pushed it, but they didn't. We have Bane, we have Vlad, we'll buy. We can do this pretty comfortably. If all else failed, I could have used ult to heal everyone, which I did actually. Did I? Yeah, I did, because we were on actually really low health. But, the thing is, after this, considering the health we're on and the respawn times, we should have left. And I have no idea why Rammus went in to chase everybody. Because I have no ult, because I used it to save, like, us and get the Baron. But then they're back, or more to the point, Akali is back, and, we are not in a good spot. I have no way of getting them off anybody, and Vayne is probably going to snuff it. I mean, I can try my best to keep her alive, but it's not going to work, even with a pink ward, right? Nothing is going to happen. Also, otherwise, they can try, but it won't work. Even if Vlad dies. So, on the plus side, at least we got Baron. That, by all rights, probably should have been theirs. And that evens up the gold at least to the point that they didn't get it. So, la 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 la. Wait, how the heck did he get fresh? Oh, Rammus tags Thresh and then murder him. Or more than those murder him. But it's just the same. Thresh is worth as much, support's worth as much as anybody. Could they have gone for Akali? Probably. But the risk there would then have been Thresh would have gotten away, throw Lantern, and then Karj could like take the Lantern and run the feck away. So now we're trying to find Akali, and she's both. But the thing is, she has to run top, so I follow her basically because there's no way she can kill me in time that the other people wouldn't be able to turn up. So I am wary she might use me to jump, but I assume that I made just a calculation that we would be okay. So then we tag Pony, and we kill Pony, and when we pursue this, and the answer is we can. I try to get vision, but Vi flashes, so it's not actually needed. Oh, that was the other thing. Especially if it comes to bushes and bot lane, the one thing that can kill your ADC or you more than anybody else is if you suddenly lose vision. So as soon as they run to the bush, as soon as your enemy runs into a bush, please try and ward it. Right? You might die, but at the same time, it might cause you to lose a kill, or your enemy to get the kill that was actually rightfully yours. So now Akali shows up, and I'm trying to get trying to get her away from us, and I managed to do that successfully. But then she flashed at me. So put pink ward down and make her cry team again. Like, really, put pink ward down, deal 100% of Akali's health in true damage instantly. It's just, I've now bought every pink ward so far has been pretty much worth it, except maybe this one, but. So I get Locket actually, in order to try and save Vayne, because I don't know actually, I just get like Locket just to save people. I have shield plus just somehow, right? Just somehow shut Akali down. The other thing you can try to do now is when you get a pink ward is try and force a fight in that area. Because okay, Akali will definitely know there's a pink ward, but you would be surprised how many times a team either forget or don't care. And then part of her kit is completely negated. And if you can get it to happen, their team cohesion will fall apart, believe me. So it's like that has nicely recovered. He's gone pretty tanky. I don't know whether that's just because you try and keep Akali away from everybody else, or just to generally be a tarp and get everyone to focus him. But I don't disagree with that choice. Because as it comes to frontline, we now have Rammus, we now have Vi, and we now have Vlad on pretty tanky amounts, and I can keep Vayne safe. It's not a bad composition, actually. So in this case, they're trying to hunt down Vlad, or Vlad thought he was trying to be hunted down, but they just give up the chase. Although then, he was pretty lucky that they just didn't fan out and search for clues, but... Does Vi get caught? No, she gets caught. So we get bot pushing. And now we're trying to look for a fight, because why not? So now, J4 engages on Vayne. Vayne tumbles out of it, and J4 is now helping everybody. Hecarim's now stuck there as well, though he didn't charge out. And now we're just busy peeling for Vayne, because like, what can they do? Not a lot. Blast is alive. Rammus went straight for Graves. And we just cleaned up afterwards. Like, two of them went for Vayne, when I guess one of them went enough, but no one on this team is really going to protect Graves. Apart from maybe Thresh, but because of his high cooldowns, what's he meant to do? It's just he use ult, he can use Q and maybe E, but there's no his only real peeling power is either long cooldown, take skill, or the walls with a walk into it. Put it this way, it's a lot less effective than Janna's tornado. So we get that, we push down the turret, 2 turrets, and we manage to take an inhibitor. So we need to get the hell out of here. I also didn't use Monsoon that fight because didn't have to, but in this situation, Vlad gets caught. And now we have to cede Baron because we overstayed our welcome immensely. And Rammus took red from Vayne. It's 26 bloody minutes, right? And the jungler took the red from not even an ADC, like an ADC who's doing well, and it's Vayne who needs the kite. It's the yeah. Right. Retard on our team, Rammus. Retard on their team, German Smurf. What is he doing with 43 AP? I can see 40 from Baron, but where's the 3 AP coming from? Did he start off with the wrong route? Is that why he screwed up so badly? Oh well. What would give you 3 AP? If anything, it should have been 40. Let's not go into that. So I don't know if we can find anybody, but in general it's just posturing. We're aware that we probably have the stronger team fight because we can just we can focus down Akali really quickly, and we have a really good defend Vayne comp, and Vayne is actually doing pretty damn well and outputting a lot of damage. So we're wondering whether Vlad is actually too far forwards, and is going to get caught, because especially if Vi's not here, but he's just generally doing, I don't know, being Vlad, I guess. They could have engaged on him, probably. They didn't know that Vi wasn't here. So we're posturing around. Vlad's trying to rebuild his health bar, which I guess is what Vlad wants to do. And they're trying to push because they have Baron. So the real question is now who engages on who and where. Because the point is, right, I pointed out, bot is pushing. Eventually, they're going to have to go back and deal with this. And we probably want to keep them here without forcing the issue to the point that there's a fight before bot is pressured. Because the sweet spot is when one of them starts to leave and we manage to catch someone. Like, this is the case in point where the sweet spot you get is when you catch someone out of position like that, right? Hecarim already left to deal with bot, and these four were still together. That is the sweet spot I'm talking about, that if you can get that, it will turn the fight in your favour, even if they are Baron buff. Look how far back Hecarim is where we realise that Thresh was caught. It's sort of like now, it's sort of weird that all five are there again, so we then go back to being really passive about it. Except then Vi sort of then walks into them, sure gets out, but it's sort of, what's going to happen? Thresh then goes to make a play about it. And I honestly am trying to get them away, but now Jarvan's helping, and Vayne's just happily sitting outside and waiting on anybody inside. It's sort of like free terrain and blocks, like TY. Why not? And then again, put a pink wall down, and Akali's crying massive tears about it. Like, okay, Vayne died, but I mean, that was 3 for 2 in our favour, and they had Baron buff. So they're going to try, they're all low, right? But at least Vlad being Vlad, he can pull out of any immediate sudden move. So I managed to knock him out, Hector out, and then Vlad takes the opportunity to go in and finish the job. Now it's down to Graves to try and push against and down and hit her, and it's not going to really happen. So now Baron's wondering whether he can catch Graves, and actually does. The surprising amount of damage, there's no way they can actually kill him. Vlad is happily like pushing away to get. Oh, actually does kill him. Never mind. But yeah, Akali again tries to bite her more than she can chew, but manages to flash away. And all hands on deck, must kill Akali. Now, does Vlad die is the thing? No, he doesn't. He manages to get away with Janna. And then Cavalry comes to save the day, and they're now down 3 people. And we just keep pushing. We're sort of wary from last time what happened when we overstayed our welcome, that we don't want to do it again. So we want to take a turret and leave, because we're sort of aware that Baron might be up. But Rammus gets caught. I have no idea whether Blue Buff was worth it, but oh well, don't help the retard. And the thing with tornadoes is that you can leave them there and then activate them at some later point in time. So I'm trying to get around to Vayne, but Vayne's leaving Vayne is pretty much saying I have left the building, so I leave as well. What is the flaming point? She sees whether she can get red or not, but it's not worth trying, especially if she's going to die for it. Because at least in this point, there's at least a threat that they try to die. So I put a pink ward again, because why the fuck not? And we kill Akali. Because, oh well, she still hasn't seemed to get the picture that she can't get away with this anymore, because every time she tries it, there will be a pink ward waiting for her. I enjoyed ruining Akali's life this game. I really did. It just seems to be a habit of Akali players thinking that Shroud will make them invulnerable, which technically it would. If people didn't put a pink ward down, therefore they allowed them to rip people apart one at a time. But in this case, it was just pink ward down, everyone could see her, knock her up. Vayne wailed on her. Vi kept her locked up. It was sort of happy days. So now I got Rocket, I got Twin Shadows, and we're now pinging for Baron. Except I warded it, and then it just sort of like, technically I wanted to pink it, but also I'm aware that they can't really fight it. And more to the point, I need to keep the pink for Akali, who takes a really strange like route out of there and dies. So I'm again just trying to stay around the side and like A peel, stay around this side and just try and keep your ADC safe like that. So it's this thing, is once they use their charges, it was like Jarvan's locked himself in, Vayne tumbles out of it. Jarvan hasn't realised this, he's got GA, but now Hecarim's charged in, so interpose yourself between your ADC and Vayne, ADC and whoever's assailing them, give them a breathing room so they can just shoot even more stuff. It's good. And we managed to kill, but it doesn't matter, we killed 4 of them for no losses. And it's saying look at J4's build, which, okay, fair enough, but he got camped so hard and still lost horribly. I mean, you can sort of see who was more useful. Was it like Vlad or was it J4? So, if anything, props to Vlad for recovering and actually being used at this point in the game. But if there's a message to this, it's generally just buy a pink ward and ruin Akali's life. It is one of the... it's just really fun. Like, the thing is, who else in your team is probably like the buy one is okay, the laner against them maybe, but it's the habit of you can't trust anybody else to deal with Akali's kit. Then just do it yourself, buy a pink ward, and everyone will then click, oh, Akali's visible, let's kill her. Like in this one, not every single time, there's one time where I put a pink ward down here, and it didn't pay off, but every other one, put a pink ward down and Akali snuffs it. It's just the nature of their character that you can use against them. Although, I guess when you get to even higher places, they might click, but then they lose a great deal of what Akali is sort of renowned for, I guess. I don't know. Just tell me if bids like these actually help you or not. Have fun.